Kia ora, and welcome to another Ashton Warner Academy webinar. My name is Ron McClay, and I'll be your host today. Joining us today will be Christine Vincent-Snow, who is the Head of Department for Early Childhood Education, and she'll be sharing her knowledge during this webinar. Christine has a lengthy and extensive background in early childhood education, ranging from working with parents and communities to teaching and managing ECE centres and lecturing. Also joining us today is Student Advisor Jean Koo and Ria, who will be on hand to join the webinar to answer any questions you might have about the enrolment process. Jean comes from a strong public relations, corporate communications and marketing background, and she holds an honours degree in social science from the National University of Singapore. Also joining us today is Sarah Pillay, who is the Academic Director for Future Skills and Ashton Warner Academy, and she'll also share her experience and answer your questions during the webinar. Sarah has had an extensive career in tertiary education and early childhood education herself. So today we're going to be covering the importance of holistic approach to children's learning and development, considering physical, social, emotional, language, intellectual, and spiritual aspects. Key theories on learning and development from birth to 5 years that influence the practice of early childhood educators, and also what makes the Ashton Warner Academy early childhood education programs special, including the nannying programs and our small class sizes and our individualized support. A little bit about Ashton Warner Academy. They're a leading Category 1 private education provider, and they've been operating for more than 30 years and has gained a great reputation with students, nanny agencies, and childcare centres. Small classes and face-to-face teaching allow students to make new friends and get lots of one-on-one support from lecturers. So in 2023, Future Skills brought the Ashton Warner Academy to Te Kapuna, opening up their new campus on the North Shore. So if you have any questions, feel free to jump in and type them in. We'll answer them as we go, or maybe at the end of the webinar. If we can't answer them for you, we will send you, we'll get back to you after through email. So yeah, feel free to type in your questions. So welcome, Christine. Thanks for joining myself and viewers today. I'm really looking forward to hearing all about both programs that Ashton Warner has to offer. So please tell us a little bit more about yourself, Christine.
Hi, kia ora. Thanks for inviting me to this. This is really exciting. And so I'm head of department at Ashton Warner in the early childhood sector here within Future Skills. So that means I have a great team to help me. I've got lecturers in the Te Kapuna and the Royal Oak campus, and we just keep developing and progressing. And our students are all out on placement today, so they're having a great time working with the children and putting all of their learning into action. And I've heard good reports from the centres, of their managers, and from the students themselves. So I'm really excited to be part of this whole process. Prior to that, gosh, I seem to have been in early childhood most of my life. And I've raised my own children, of course, and now my moko, my grandchildren. So it's an ongoing journey. But I've taught in tertiary for 7 years or more, done seminars here and also in China, and published articles just to really create quality practices for teachers so that children just grow and thrive. Quality is so important to me and to our team and to the college, I know. Yeah. So should we have a look at what we've put together? What do you think?
Sounds exciting. Let's do it.
All right, that's great. Jean, thank you, Jean. All right, so I wanted to tell you a little bit about learning and development in the early years, because often people think, okay, it's children learn in this area, so let's go for it. But actually, infants, toddlers, and young children learn in multiple areas at the same time. You know, we call it holistic learning, and it connects to Māori practices and beliefs, but also to Pacifica and to other cultural groups as well. We understand that they learn physically and socially, emotionally, cognitively, spiritually. And when you're a teacher in early childhood, You don't make those decisions. You're not alone. You don't make those big decisions alone. You're part of a team, and you work with the whānau, you work with the parents and also the community. So there's a whole lot of wraparound support there for the child. There's a whole lot of connections. What they do outside and in their home connects to what they do in the centre or early childhood setting and vice versa. So lots of conversations and lots of real building of relationships. I guess one of the other points that I wanted to mention was that for children, play is so important. That's the way they learn. I know we sit at our computers and we type or we go out and build things, but children, play is their learning. So, Jean, thank you.
Yes, sure. Seems to be a time there. Hang on a minute.
That's all right. That's okay. One of the examples, just to help make sense of that, is for instance, in the sandpit. When children play in the sandpit, we can see them playing and digging and scooping and having great fun. And as an early childhood teacher, you'd get in beside them, into the sandpit and enjoy it, or alongside them, and you work with them. But what's going on is a whole lot of learning. Those children are learning maths as they learn about weights and measures, and they learn about counting and subtraction. They learn about science. They learn about physics too, the speed at which things flow down and what happens also, when they mix water with it. There's chemical changes. Things change shape, and as they work with their friends, they're learning social skills. They might not want to change and share the spade, but they learn how to negotiate, and they learn how to take turns, and it's all a language. And the joy, the spiritual aspect comes into the joy that they experience with it. So it's all wrap around, it all comes together. And as the teacher, we observe it. We watch them and go, I see this is really an area that they're interested in. Maybe it's primarily social skills. Oh, how can we develop that further? And we talk to the parents and say, oh, I see they're really interested in making friends. How's it going at home? And then we can build maybe group experiences together, play in group games. And so we focus on that. But once again, everything else is happening at the same time. So I've found this quote, and I really love it, from Te Whāriki. Te Whāriki is the national curriculum for early childhood, and it's essential for early childhood teachers. But you know what? We're just going to teach you that when you come, so don't you worry about that. All right. And but it's a beautiful quote because it just really shows you the importance of early childhood. It's foundational. What a child has learned by the time they're 5, it's just, that's it, the basis of it for the rest of their lives. Their sense of identity just gets built on from there. Their inclusion, their cognitive skills, it's all formed in those early childhood years. It's so important, but it's also so much fun. Okay. So I wanted to put that in. So what do you think? Any questions? Any points anybody wants to bring in, or shall I keep chatting?
I don't see any questions coming through, but I'm sure there'll be plenty coming through after or by the end. So feel free to keep going, Christine.
All right, that's good. So some of the questions that we have are, where does it go? What do we do with our certificates or diplomas? So here you can see. So we teach a level 3 and level 5. All right. Now both of them are standalone. So you come out with that certificate. You've got it. You've earned it. Well done. And also with level 5. All right. But also how you can use them. All right, level 3 and level 5, you can go in and be a teacher. You will be an unqualified teacher on the floor. All right, but you can continue learning, growing. You can continue your practice as an unqualified teacher, you know. So level 5 also, all right, so level 3 leads to level 5 as well. Mustn't forget to say that. All right, so it was a natural progression to level 5. But the level 5 as well is the first year of a degree. Okay, so you can get your degree in early childhood. You started at level 5, and then you can take that diploma to other tertiary providers, all right, that do the level 6 and level 7. All right. Now, part of the level 5 program in Tekpuna is a nanny component. So when you come out, you've also got that, and then you have the qualification to be a nanny, which can take you to work locally or internationally as well. All right. So I also would like to point out that the level 5 diploma particularly, you know, you can take that overseas with you. And if you're going to go overseas and show it, you know, as a qualification for that first year to work as an unqualified teacher in centres and early childhood settings in other countries, all right, they will help guide you into understanding that further. Okay. So what is beneficial about doing level 5 and level 3 here is that if you're coming from school or you're entering studies for the first time, or you've studied elsewhere but you want to take this level 5, it's a small group size. So you've got personalized care, personalized education. It's really important. And you're working face to face. So you're not going to feel possible isolation that can happen online. Okay. So I just wanted to reiterate that. Now, the other thing is that if you do move on to an early childhood degree, all right, once you get your transcript and you've finished your degree, great job, well done, you can then apply for teachers registration. All right, that comes after the degree. All right, so once you have teachers registration, they call that provisional. It's like, it is teachers registration, but it's like a starter teacher. You can then, but once again, you don't have to go on to full registration, and then numerous opportunities are there. You know, you can be what we call an associate teacher, you can be the head teachers, you can manage a centre, you can be a lecturer and go visit students in these centres. The pathways are really endless. And I remember, this is just my story, but I remember when before I studied early childhood, I went to a course. I was an unqualified reliever, and I went to a course, and the person that was running the course said to me, "Oh, have you thought about studying?" And I was on the back of my mind, but no further. And she said, "You know, you should think about who knows where you could go, who knows where you'll be." And then here I am. So that was my journey. All right. So yeah, I don't know what your journey will be, but I'm sure it'll be exciting, that's for sure. All right, Jean, what's on the next page?
Let's see.
Here is a question that's come up from Abby. Hey, Abby. How old do you have to be and what NCA level do you need? Maybe Jean, do you want to answer that one?
Yes. All right. So the minimum age to study this program is 18. Once you finish your high school, you can start your level 3 qualification. Is that right, Ria? Yes. Okay, that's fine. And sorry, what was the second part of the question, Rob?
Oh, so it's
And
just
NCA
how
level
long
2.
and yeah, and what NCA level do you need? So
Okay, so with NCA level 2, you will be able to do the diploma program. Does
perfect,
that answer the question? Yeah.
great. So Jean, how could I enroll into this program? What's the how do I do that?
All right, so to enroll with the program, there are several ways to do it. The easiest way, obviously, is to jump on our website. And on the website is an apply button where you can fill up all the details about yourself, give us an idea of what your qualifications are, and we will get back in touch with you. However, if you're not ready to fill up that application form just yet, you can contact us in one of 3 ways. You can ring us on our 0800 number, which I will give you later on in one of the slides, or you could book a video call with us. We have a team of 6 student advisors who are more than happy to speak to you about the programs that we run. And last but not least, you can come visit us at either our Manukau or our Royal Oak campus. And again, one of our team of 6 will be there with a big broad smile to welcome you and to answer any of your questions.
Thanks, Jean. I've got a question here for you, Christine. You mentioned that you had some students on placement. Can you expand on that a little bit more? How does that work?
Oh, placements are great. Because we do the studies in the classroom, you know, where we learn, it's all hands-on learning and really relevant in connecting students to each other. And then we have the placements where the students go out to early childhood centres for a few weeks. All right, these students, they're out there for 3 weeks, and they have they're working there as like trainee teacher on the floor. So they're part of the team. They get that really good experience there and find out what it's like to be in a centre. So they work with all the routines, they work with the children, they put out resources and experience that play-based learning, and they have a mentor there, a mentor teacher who looks after them, and that's their point of contact. And then while they're away, they can contact us at any time, right? So they're never alone. And then the lecturer goes out to visit them, and we support them with how they're going, any questions they're doing. We assess them, because that placement is also an assessment. So we see how they're doing, putting all their learning into practice, and we guide and support them further as well. So with the nanny component, the students go into placement in homes for a block as well. So they have placements in centres, but also in homes. And and the college organises that, so they don't have to organise that for themselves as well.
Thanks, Christine. Jean, can you read the Q&A? There's something from Ashwini. She's from Fiji. Welcome to New Zealand. She's finished her diploma in level 5 in ECE from the University of South Pacific. Her question is, I'm not still qualified, I guess, to teach in New Zealand. Might need some clarity on that. I think what she's trying to say is she's got the level 5 qualification in ECE, but is she qualified to teach in New Zealand? Can you expand on that, whether she is or not?
Okay, we will have to look at that qualification. What we can do then, once we have received that qualification and her application, would be then to present it to Christine and to Sarah to have a look. So we do have to match that with our New Zealand criteria to see if she's eligible.
Okay.
Do Sarah and Christine want to add to that?
Yeah, thanks, Jean. Perhaps I could clarify that as well. Ashwini, you have a level 5 diploma, and I think that might highly likely be equivalent to the diploma that we offer as well. You wouldn't be considered a qualified teacher, because as Christine has explained, you need a degree in New Zealand to be a qualified early childhood teacher. So I'm thinking that with your level 5 diploma, you can actually proceed to higher levels of study at other institutions in New Zealand. You've got a great start already. And yeah, I'd certainly encourage you to continue with it. Yeah, I think you've already got the qualification at level 5, which is what we offer at, Ashton Warner Future Skills. So yeah, all the best and good luck for your future.
Yeah, I'm sure, Ashwini, you could probably just give Ashton Warner a call. I'm sure there's some contact numbers coming through shortly. Abby's got another question. Do you have
Does she want to come visit?
Yeah. I think you've answered that, haven't you? Come to the Royal Oak or Manuka Centre.
Yes. And I would recommend to Abby to give us a call to make an appointment with Ria. And we're even happy to, and I'm sure Christine will be more than happy to host Abby at the Takapuna
Christine,
campus if necessary.
She generally brings muffins, don't you, Christine?
I'm coming along as well.
Muffins for you.
I love it. Actually, nutrition and cooking is part of the nanny component, so maybe we can make muffins included in that. What do you think?
There's no sugar in the muffins, can't have sugar. And another question there. Hi, Christine. I'm South African. Was trained in South Africa in 1989. Do I still need to complete level 3? Who can answer that one?
I probably could. Again, I think if you have an overseas qualification, it's difficult for us to assess your eligibility here on this platform. So we will have a number later on. Please give Ria a call, and we will look at your qualifications and definitely present that to Christine and Saris to assess. And we'll be able to better advise you that way for your personal circumstances. All right.
I think, I'm just looking at that, Jean. Being a South African and having trained I'm a South African myself, by the way. And, you've done some training in South Africa already. So you possibly could move to the level 5 diploma. But again, like Jean says, it's important to have a look at your documentation. So please come through and we'll see how we can support you.
Thanks, Saris. Okay, so
Abby sorry, Rob. Sorry, I see Abby has added a comment that she lives in Tauranga. Well, you will have to come and visit us in Auckland then, Abby, if it's not too much of a problem. Just a 2-hour drive. Yeah.
And I think you definitely deserve a muffin for coming up from Tauranga. So okay, we can do that.
Right.
In case you're wondering, Abby, this program is not an online program. It is a face-to-face program. It is a full-time program as well. Classes are held 4 times a week from 9 to 3, from Monday to Thursday. So if you want to do this program, you might have to consider joining us in Auckland or relocate to Auckland.
Jean, that you've got really great student support. So good wraparound service to look after the students from pre-enrollment right through to post-enrollment to graduation. You look after the student through all throughout, don't you? Yeah.
Yes, that's right. We do. So just a quick introduction of Ria and myself. Like I said earlier, I am a student recruitment and admissions advisor, and so is Ria. And we are 2 in a team of 6. We recruit for a variety of different programs. We run not just early childhood programs. We also have very well-regarded programs in health, in IT, and construction. So we keep ourselves really busy trying to find the best fit for the student and our programs, right? So here at Future Skills Academy, when you put in an application or you give us a call, we will do our very best to find you something that you're interested in and something that you're eligible for. That's what's most important, because what's most important to Future Skills is that you succeed when you come and join us for a program. We want to make sure that you're supported right through, right from your phone call right up to the last day when you walk up on stage to receive your graduation certificate. All right. So like I said earlier, you give us a phone call. We will talk to you, find out what it is that you're interested in, what your goals are, and we will assess your eligibility based on your past educational qualifications as well as your past work experience for some of you. Following that, we will help you to complete your enrollment. If you need, for example, help paying for your fees, at the moment, most of our courses can be funded either with the TEC's fees-free funding scheme, or we are offering scholarships as well. So the scholarships are 100%, which means that once we approve your scholarship, there will be no fees that you need to pay for. But again, the scholarships are first come, first served basis. So if you are interested in any of our programs for the July intake, we recommend that you do put in your application soon for both the program as well as the scholarships. Right, following that, you will have an orientation before you start the program. So whether you need IT support or you need support with, say, training incentive allowances or student allowances, we have got our student success team that can help you with that as well. Once you are enrolled, we pass you, the student recruitment team will then pass you on to our academic team to support you. However, should you run into any problems at all, whether it's personal problems, whether it's IT problems or academic problems, we have our student support team student success team, who will support you through your studies here at Future Skills and Ashton Warner Academy. So yeah, that's kind of the journey that you will have studying with us.
Thanks, Jean. And Rev, do you have anything you want to add to that around the student support side of things, or maybe Jean's missed anything there? Have you got anything you want to add?
Yes, Rob. I'd also like to add on that often we have students who don't apply because they feel like they are not eligible to study the program. So if you have any issues around that, my phone number will be on the screen and you can give me a call directly and I'll be happy to assist you guys with that.
Well, thanks, Ria. Oh, there we go. Next screen's popped up. Some start dates there, I see. There we go. Go back one slide and show us the start dates.
Okay. Yeah.
That's quite useful.
Right. So we are recruiting at the moment for the level 3 and the level 5 programs. Enrollments are open now. Start dates are 31st of July. You have some time to think about it, but not a lot of time either. So both of the programs start on the 31st of July at our Takapuna or the Royal Oak campus. So depending on where you live, obviously, pick one of these two campuses. We do have future plans for classes at our Manukau campus. So if you live in South Auckland and you feel that Manukau is your preferred campus, please do let Ria know so that if we have sufficient numbers, we could definitely and certainly work at starting a class there. All right. As I mentioned earlier, fees should be the least of your problem at the moment. We will check for you whether you're eligible for the government's fees-free funding. And if you're not, you will be offered a scholarship to study for this program. Both of the programs are full-time programs. The ECE level 3 program is 19 weeks and the level 5 diploma is 34 weeks. And this is excluding school holidays. and term breaks.
And how many days a week for Abby? She wants to know how many days you need to attend and what times.
Right. So classes are 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We start at 9 and we finish at 3.
Right. Thank you.
And as Christine said earlier, we will help you to organize work experience placements towards the end of the program. These work placements are voluntary, so you're not paid during the time when you're doing placements, because that is part of the course curriculum and training.
Perfect. Thanks, Jane.
I see lots of questions popping up. Yep.
I think we're coming to the end of our webinar, so we might start wrapping things up. So, there we go. There's Ria's phone number. Call Ria for any further information. I think you should really give Ria a quick call about your questions. She'll definitely be able to help you out there.
Yes.
Do recommend going to the Future Skills website to do your application. Those scholarships won't be around for very long, so I do recommend just applying and seeing where that takes you. We'll probably wrap it up, but any last comments from the team here?
Yes, Rob, if I may just add something to what Ria was saying. Sometimes you may not be sure whether early childhood education is for you, whether it's a career you want to pursue. So please call Jean, call Ria, and they can advise you and give you further information on what the programs are about and what the content is like. And I also want to encourage people to consider the fact that there's the opportunity to study either fees-free or through a scholarship. And I think that's a fantastic opportunity, because here you are, you have an opportunity to launch a career in a very, very rewarding area of work. So yeah, that's it, Rob. I think people who've joined us today think very carefully about studying in the early childhood sector, because employment opportunities are huge, either in New Zealand or overseas.
Yeah.
New Zealand is a leader in early childhood education, and qualifications from New Zealand are very, very highly regarded overseas as well. So, yeah, see Christine shaking her head as well. We've been in this particular area of work, training early childhood educators for a very long time, and so we know of the opportunities out there. So give it a go. Thanks, Rob.
Great, thanks, Sarah. So, Christine, run to your place for some muffins, and we'll do a tour of the campus stuff. So, I'd just like to say thank you so much for Jean, Christine, Ria, and Sarah for joining us today, and hopefully shedding some light on what it'd be like to study at Ashton Warner / Future Skills Academy. If you've got any further questions, look, you can just send me an email and I'll pass it on to the right people. We will be sending this video out to everyone again, so you can watch it again if you'd like. But once again, thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining us today, and most likely see you in the next webinar, probably on something a little bit different, but something equally amazing. So once again, thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
See you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Muffins at Christine's.
Yay.